Hi, so this is video 2 of Taiji 8-Step for Functional Fitness. If you watched the first video, we talked about our main goal with this. Okay, so one of those is being able to turn the leg independently, or being able to turn the leg with the hip as a unit. Okay, number one. Number two, we want to not look at shifting into the knee and back and forth like this and minimally using the muscles, but we want to look at sitting and sinking and driving. So we're engaging everything from the hip down, right? The buttocks, the quads, the hamstrings, the muscles of the calf, even the ankles and the feet, right? We want to drive like that. Okay, so those two big things are very important, and also pointing the foot, right? I want to put the foot the direction I'm going. Again, day-to-day, everyday life, I'm here and I'm in my kitchen washing dishes, and I want something over here. I don't want to reach like this. I want to turn to get it. So we can delve really deep into all of these aspects from that first video, but we're not going to really do that too much. I'm just going to do the form, and I'm going to talk about where the weight should be and when to turn, and I'll do it from the back, okay? So here we go. So we're going to start with an opening, and then we have our commencement. And look, when I do this, I'm sinking into the butt, not into the knees. See, I'm not pushing my knees out, but I want to push my butt backwards, okay? So we'll start back over. I step out, and here we go, I sink. Now, I put the weight in the left leg. I'm going to turn the right leg out, and I'm going to point in this direction. I'm facing that way. I turn it back to the front. Now, I sit on the right side. I turn the left out, I turn the left back in. Piece 2, brush knee twist step, right? So I'm going to turn this foot in. We talked about that in the last video. We're not going to rotate as we do it. In this video, we're going to break it down even smaller because we're concerned about mobility and stability for that matter. So we're just going to do it from side to side, right? So I put the weight here, I turn the foot. I put the weight here, I turn this foot out. I sit, and then I drive forward. As I want to go the other way, I bend the back knee, I sit, I turn the foot in, and look, it's like almost like I'm pigeon-toed. Nothing wrong with that. Again, this is a training piece. Right, from here, I put the weight in the right leg, left leg, I turn the foot out, and I drive forward. I bend the leg again, the left leg, I turn the right in, I put the weight on the right leg, I turn the left leg out, and I shift the weight forward. I bend the back leg again, I sit here, right? No weight here, I turn this leg in. I kind of put me in the middle. Again, training. People go, oh, you should be double rooted. Well, just don't worry about that, okay? Just try to see where I'm coming from with the video. So again, I leg here, I put the weight here, I turn this one out, and I transfer the weight to the lead. Now, we're going to do wave hands like clouds. Well, the weight is here, right? So as this hand comes up, we're going to turn that leg first, right? And then look, as the weight comes here, we're going to turn it the rest of the way. And then look, I'm going to pull this foot in. I put the weight here as I twist across. I step out, and shift across. I'm going to go back the other way now. I shift and sit. Don't do it like this so that you kind of push your butt out, right? Just think, sit, sit, and come out again, right? And then here, I bring this one to it. I put the weight here. Golden rooster stands on one leg. I put it back down. Other side. Golden rooster stands on one leg. Now, I'm going to make my stance as wide as my shoulders again. And look, I'm going to, as I do, the weight's still here, I'm going to turn this slightly, pull the foot in, and point with the toe. I put it down, and again, I'm going to do the same thing. I put it down, and I go to put the weight here as I'm turning the foot. I pull this in, and I point with the toe. Now, as this foot goes back down, I'm going to turn it. I turn this one. and then forward. Back. I sink every time. Drive out. Sink back. Drive out. All right, so that was. I take it, do the same thing again. I put the weight here. I turn this foot in. I put the weight here. I turn this foot out, and grasp the sparrow's tail, the 4 parts. If you look at some of my other videos, I do not do all of these pieces to the front. I turn my body. But again, we're trying to work on a specific aspect. I need to turn again, right? So the weight is here. So I'm going to kind of turn this foot out, right? And then look, as I put the weight over here, I turn this one in. I put the weight back here and I pull it in. I'll come back up. Now, I'm going to do it one more time because I did a lot of talking, and then I'll do it to the back, okay? So if you want, follow along with me. So here's my opening. I want to get my weight 50-50. My commencement. And then a version of repulse the monkey. The weight is in my left leg. I turn the right out. I turn the right back to the front. I put the weight in the right leg. I turn the left one out. I turn it back. Now, brush knee twist step. I'm going to keep the weight in the right leg. I turn the right leg out, or in I should say. I put the weight here. I turn the foot out. And now I'm going to drive the weight forward. Now, I bend that back leg again. I turn this one all the way in. I put the weight into my right leg. My left leg. I turn the right one out, and I transfer the weight to the front. The weight is in the right, or the majority of it. And so as I turn, I'm going to turn the left leg first. As I turn it, and then I turn the right leg. I step up. The weight now is in my right leg. I step out. The weight's in the right. The weight's in the left. The weight's in the right. I bring the left to the right. I put the weight in the left. I raise the right. I drop. I put the weight in the right. I raise the left. I place the foot shoulder width apart again, or a little wider in my situation. Sorry about that. But look, I'm going to turn, pull the foot in, and point the toe. As I go to put it back down, I'm going to kind of turn it as I put the weight there. I pull the toe in. I kick out with the toe. I'm going to put it down again. As I do, I'm going to try to turn it before I put the weight there. Now I turn out the right and grasp sparrow's tail. I drive forward. I sink back. I drive forward. I sink back. If you notice, I'm not really putting any major load in my knee. Really important. The weight's on the rear. I turn the right in. I put the weight on the right. I turn the left out. I drive forward. I sink back. I drive forward. I sink back. I drive forward. The weight is in the left. I'm going to turn the right out. I turn the left. The weight kind of goes back to the right. I put it back in the left as I pull the right to me. And down. Now, from the back side. Same thing. We're here. And I'm going to bend the knee and raise this heel. I step out, and I'm going to step out as wide as my shoulders, right? If I can. A little wider is great. We want to keep getting it wider. My commencement. Look, I sit, not into my knees. And I transfer the weight to the left. I turn the right out. I turn the right back. I put the weight in the right side. I turn the left out. I turn the left back. Now, the weight, I'm going to keep it in my left for a second. I turn the right in. I turn the left out. And then look, I want to make sure that I'm sinking, and then I drive forward. And to get a better feel of this, try to contract the buttocks whenever you do these actions. I bend that rear or the right knee. I turn the left in. Feet are kind of pointing like a triangle. I put the weight in the left. I turn the right out. and then I transfer to the front. Again, contraction is great. We want to feel it. I bend the left again. I turn the right all the way inside. I turn the left out as I put the weight on the rear, and I sink. And I drive forward, part to wild horse's mane. I bend the rear again. I pull the left in. I turn the right out. I sink, and then I drive forward. Now look, when I go to do this wave hands like clouds, I kind of sink in the middle so I can turn that foot in, right? So, yeah. So as I turn it in, and then as the weight starts to come across, I go ahead and turn the other foot. I bring it in, I transfer the weight to the right leg. I step out with the left, and then transfer the weight to it. I'll go back across. Again. Again. The weight is in the right. I bring the left up. I put the weight in the left. I raise the right up, golden rooster. I sink. I raise the left up. Now, I'm going to put the foot down, shoulder width apart, but as I start to put the weight there, I turn on it. I pull the right to me. I point and kick with the toe. I put it back down. As I do, I turn to point here, right? I draw the foot in. I kick with the toe. Now, I'm going to put the foot down, shoulder width if I can, but as I do, I'm going to kind of pivot. I put the weight back there. I turn the foot out. Grass sparrow's tail. Forward, back, forward, sink, drive. Think you were pushing something that's heavy. You wouldn't push it with your knee. You would use all your muscles. Right? I put the weight on the left. I turn the right in. I turn the left out. I shift to the front. I sink, forward, sink, drive forward. Now, the weight's in the left. I'm going to turn the right out. As I turn the right out, then I turn the left out. The weight is in the right. I shift back to the left. I pull the right in. Equal weight and down. Okay. So one more time with no talking to the front. You have to not rewind it or something. Speed is irrelevant. Meaning you can do these forms fast or slow or varied. So one last little thought on this. There are all kinds of ways to do these forms. There has to be a reason behind it, right? And I'm explaining to you, in my mind, this is excellent for somebody that is, again, maybe they got released from physical therapy. They're older, they haven't been active in a long time. They've started developing some balance issues, things like that. This is a great way to get you started and start doing these pieces. They'll end up being about probably a dozen pieces like this, okay? That all of them you'll be able to stand in front of your TV in your living room and watch them and be able to get something out of it. Or say you've got a church group or something and you have a meetup, a weekly meetup or something. You can always watch these videos and it'll help for the whole. I don't charge for any of this stuff. People that come to me for classes and things like that, these are made available to them for free. And there's plenty of online courses out there that you can spend money on. It doesn't mean that what I'm sharing with you is not as quality or that they have something secret that they're not, that they've got that you got to pay money for. None of that's true. It's either they're good at sharing with you about how to use your body and how to improve upon it, or they're not, or I'm not. But I think I do a pretty good job of it. I try my best. And I have my intention is, I'm not trying to make money from people that live in other places, so much, somebody invited me somewhere or something, that's one thing. But what I'm getting at is, I think that everybody should be able to have the best mobility and generalized strength that they can to be able to live their life independently as much as they can for as long as they can. And I want that for myself, and I hope that I'm able to do that too. So anyway, I hope you liked the video, and there should be options enough to watch the video to help you to maybe to memorize it enough that you can practice it. And even if you can't memorize it, these simple things like this about sinking and driving, so you're utilizing all of those muscles, lifting things so we can strengthen the hip flexors, squatting so we can strengthen the buttocks, so we can get up out of chairs or out of a car. And we want to make sure that lifting, right, so that when we're walking we don't trip over something because we can pick our feet up high enough. We're not slowly dragging them. And we don't want to create instability by reaching for something this way when we can turn and give us more stability. In this piece, there's nothing where I'm necessarily crossing behind, we'll say, crossing behind or crossing in the front. But those things are going to be addressed in other videos as I have time to put these out. So anyway, I hope you liked it, and I hope it benefits you in some way. Thank you.